I want to talk to you today about the importance of having the right technology. And there's 5 pieces of technology I want to discuss very briefly that if you don't have them right in your business, you will actually be starting to fall behind. The first one is having some storage. Now, quite often it's been done in a server. You know, we have a little computer, or we have our laptop that we carry around and we store everything inside of that. The reality is cloud technology is where it's at. To be able to access all your information anywhere in the world in a very, very secure environment. The area that we actually suggest and recommend is Google's technology. Google Drive in the Google Suite or the G Suite is one of those things that actually makes a difference for be able to store and do version control and make sure everything is there at your fingertips anytime you need it. The second one I want to talk about is, look, I don't know about you, I've got so many passwords, so many different areas that I have to access all the time that I actually forget my password and I have to reset it, and I have to reset it again, and it gets really confusing. There's a piece of technology called LastPass. LastPass is a great way, and it's where you've only got to remember one password, and once you've got that one password, you build everything into it. Some other great videos here on this site will teach you how to use that one. The third one is quite often I'm trying to give instructions to my team members or give instructions to a client and they don't quite understand it. And so we use what we call screen capture. You can do it in either screenshot or in a video. And the one that I recommend there is called Snagit. Snagit is a piece of technology that allows you to capture your screen. All right, and when you capture what you're doing, you can actually talk at it. So you can move the cursor around and you can actually see that now within the actual little video that's playing in the background here, and you hear my voice, is you can actually click on it. So for instance, I'm actually building a website at the moment, and I wanted my logo, instead of being on the left-hand side, to be over on the right-hand side. And so you can simply drag that your cursor and you put it on there, and as you speak, can you please drag this logo over into this position? Or it might be that you want to reduce the size of a particular image. You can click on the image and say, can you reduce this image by 50%? So screen capture is a great way to be able to do that. The fourth piece of technology, which is really important for today, is called video conferencing. Video conferencing is the way in which you can communicate with people. It could be around the corner, on the next block, the next city, the next town. It could be across the other side of the world. Now, there's quite a few pieces of technology around. A lot of us are used to Skype. It's been there for a while. But some of the newer ones, Google Hangouts and Zoom. I'd encourage you to have a look at those. The way in which you can communicate, you can actually, the best sort of technology as far as video conferencing is concerned is one where you can actually capture the screen at the same time as you record. I'm not talking necessarily about webinars, but something like Zoom, you can actually do for webinars as well. So check those out, some great ideas with those. And the fifth one is a bit of technology. It's really about websites. The reality is quite often we can go to our different web developers out there and they'll have their own proprietary software. And the problem is, if you go to a web developer and then you want to move web developers, you've then got to actually rebuild your website. And so the fifth one I would actually recommend to most people is the area of what they call open source. Open source websites are the most powerful way in which you can actually, number one, do some of the editing yourself, but number two, you're no longer tied to any one web developer and you can move it around and get multiple people to work on a site. It's becoming one of the most popular ones. The one that I like is called WordPress. So there's the 5. Make sure you have a great storage system. All right, use the cloud as the best way to do it. Google Drive would be our recommendation here. The second one is your way in which you can actually have your all your passwords and everything in the one space. It's called LastPass. The third one, Snagit, was the one we recommend. It's a way in which you can do video capture and or just screenshot stills. It's a great way in which you can actually give instructions to and from different people. The fourth one is a piece of technology around being able to communicate via video and live. All right, it's called video conferencing. And the fifth one is make sure you've got a platform around how do you actually build a website and what's something that works really, really well. All of these 5 little tips that I've given you and these tech tools, I'd actually encourage you to have a look at some of our other videos, and it will give you some more insights into how to actually use and make sure you get the best out of these products.